What else were you going to say?
Nothing. We've had some people that were television gold in the past on our shows, and man, were those some crazy years. But yeah, I think Cam misses it, and maybe one day I'll be able to talk her into coming back.
Well, the fans would absolutely love that. I mean, mind you, if you want to give a call to Stassi or Schwartz or any of them, I think the fans would love that too. I don't
I
think
think I'm going to
anyone
push for that.
I don't think anyone would argue with that. How hard was it, to like, I know Paige is going to be on, talk about, listen, this crossover from show to show is not a thing that has existed for a long time. I mean, it really, Winter House really, to me, kind of changed the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how
Yeah.
hard was it? Like, I know, Naomie was back. I mean, we're going to see Paige on Southern Charm. Was that awkward filming those scenes?
I don't know. That's one of those things you'll just have to watch. It's a long season. This will be one of the longest seasons um of Charm, and I think it's a crazy season. It's just as crazy as some of our early ones. And it's gonna be really fun for people to watch. And I think you'll get my thoughts through watching those episodes.
I love a long season. So, like, that sounds good to me. Were you nervous, staying on the Naomie chapters? Like, how did you, I mean, Paige obviously has read your book. Like, did you explain, like, were you nervous for her to read those chapters? Was it not an issue? Am I making an issue out of something that wasn't?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's just my story. And obviously, it's going to take a little getting pumped up to read, stories about anyone's past. I don't think it's because we're in a unique situation. It just, anyone reading about their person's, past is going to be a little difficult. But, Paige is awesome. She's just a great person and she gets it. And, I think both of us try to help out as many people as we can. And I think she knows that, people reading the story, I've already gotten, not hundreds, but tens of messages, being like, I'm going through that right now, and reading, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and then getting to see how happy you are now, and knowing how, bad the breakup was and how much of a hole you were in, gives me hope. So I think, yeah, no, it wasn't a big deal.
Breakups are hard, but then you look back and you're like, okay. Would you get nervous reactions from anyone else on the Southern Charm cast? Like, was there one person that stood out of like, what are you going to write about me in the book?
No, I think Whitney is never happy with anything with people. So, I finally got to write about the casting process for our show, which the network has really given me a long leash with this. And, I don't think anyone's ever written about how you ended up on the show. He might be like, there's a few things that I'm sure would annoy him a little bit, but no, I mean, it's an honest telling of, of everything. And it wasn't opinion based, really. It was really just an objective, story about, what the last 9 years have been like.
You haven't heard from Whitney yet.
No, I mean, we saw each other last week. I don't think, I think it'll be a while before him and Shep read my book.
Well,
if they ever did.
Well, they should, because it's a great book.
Thank you.
What was it like? So, you went into Winter House. I know that you and Paige have crossed paths way prior to that throughout the years. Like, everyone says like, you just know when you feel something for someone, when did you start to realize like, maybe you had romantic feelings for Paige? Was it like in Winter House? Was it after Winter House?
Look, the fun thing is when we met 3 years ago on Summer House, we both kind of knew that was our person. And then she was dating someone, and then I was dating someone, and we blocked it out of our heads. But then when we were single, at the same time together, which was after Winter House, it was the first time we had ever hung out single, and we were like, let's see what happens. And, all those feelings from the first day that we saw each other came back. So it was really fun and really sweet.
That's great. Why, what is it about, like we've seen you date many people throughout the years. What is it about Paige? What draws you to Paige?
She's just my, when you find your person, you do. I know it sounds cliche, but I think we were raised very similarly, which I love. Her parents are very similar to mine, and when I'm at their house or when she's at mine, it doesn't feel any different. And shit, she's doing pretty much better than me right now, which I fucking love. A lot of it, people won't see for a while, but like her new clothing line's about to drop, and she's got some really awesome stuff happening outside of reality TV, and I that drives me because it's like a healthy competition that goes unspoken, but when you're competing with your partner in a healthy way, it's kind of hard to explain. Like you're just like, this is awesome, but I got to keep up at this point. Like, so I love that. I just love how driven she is and how excited she is to continue to span like both of our careers. And like like our brands. We love reality TV, and we love being in other stuff too. So it's going to be really fun to see where we end up, in the next few years and where our brands go. And she's going to collaborate with me for Sewing Down South. She's going to do a pillow line for us this fall, which I'm really excited about. And so the fact that we get to work together is just awesome.
You guys both seem to understand, like, look, like you could, being a reality TV star is amazing, but like you really could parlay this into a real career, like what Paige is doing and like what you did with Sewing Down South. Is there someone that like in the reality space, or just one or two people, either Bravo or non-Bravo, that you like kind of looked up to? You look at like a Bethenny Frankel. Okay, that's obviously the obvious, look what she did with Skinny Girl. But is there someone where you were like, wow, like this person just did it right?
Well, Bethenny just has the Bethenny Frankel Foundation, and that's what my goal has always been. So I think Southern Charm, in the first 3 years, we just had our 3-year anniversary. We've given like $200,000 away, and the goal, hopefully, the Conover Foundation is formed by the end of the summer. I mean, Bethany's giving away millions and millions in aid and supplies and stuff around the world. That's always what's made me happiest. That's what I want. I mean, that's the whole goal here. Like being financially free is amazing, but with that to me comes being able to give away as much as you want to. And so, following, I know it's like a cliche one, but it's, I mean, she went the philanthropic route, and that's my entire goal. So, hopefully I can continue following in her footsteps and just keep growing. We'll see what happens.
That's another thing you talk about in the book, which I didn't realize, like just how much like your foundation is important to you and all of that. Before we wrap up, again, people love and want to know, it's going well with Paige. Might we see a proposal soon, Craig?
I think if you guys ever saw it, the answer would be no from Paige. We do a good job of keeping, some of our milestones outside of the camera's reach, but we talk about marriage and I just built our huge closet in my house in Charleston, and we talk about our future, and it's really exciting to be with someone that you feel comfortable talking about your future. But we only have been officially dating for a little over 6 months, and so as excited as we are for our future, we still are being like wise and responsible and doing it our way and not rushing it. So you won't see a proposal until we're at least together for a year. But then I think it would be something that wouldn't be crazy to look forward to.
Listen, building someone a closet in your house is no, that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, I think that's a milestone that we'll have to cherish for a little while.
Well, I'm up here. This is last question. While I'm up here in New York, would you ever do the New York thing? Move up here full time, Paige, Hamptons? Could you ever see yourself becoming a New Yorker full time?
I mean, I like that she laughs when she gets asked that question, because she's like, Craig just wouldn't. I mean, I love it in the city. I'm there pretty much every week right now. We transition our time. Like she'll be in Charleston all of May and June, but the last few months I've been in New York, and I really do love it. We'll always have an apartment up there, but I just, I couldn't see myself raising kids up there. So like, I love spending time up in New York, but at the end of the day, I'm still kind of like a country kid, and I like hopping in my car or hopping on the boat and just, I think we're fortunate that we can do kind of a shared, life between the two. But I mean, I would be lying if I said I ever saw myself, really settling down. But I mean, look, who knows? I mean, you don't really get to plan out your life that much. So nothing's on the table. And that's why I don't really like making definitive statements. But, um, I think right now we'll just keep splitting our time. But I, I, I'm trying to figure out the New York thing.
I just had to ask, listen, the more people like you that come to New York, the better, as far as I'm concerned. I think all you Bravo celebrities should just end up in New York, as far as I'm concerned. So just
Well,
figured I
hopefully we
would
have a
ask.
BravoCon. Hopefully we have BravoCon to bring us all together again sometime.
I hope so. Well, listen, like I know the podcast tour is going well, the pillow parties continue. This book is literally, I loved reading it. Everyone needs to get a copy of it. Pillow Talk, What's Wrong with My Sewing. I've learned more about you in this book than 7 seasons on Southern Charm, but I am excited for season 8. So, thank you for taking your time today. I really appreciate it, and congrats on the new book.